Hello and welcome. I'm your host Aditi Singh and you're watching My India. Advancing its vision of a developed India by 2047, India is strengthening global trade ties. At the second India-EU Trade and Technology Council meeting in New Delhi, both sides reaffirmed their commitment to digital cooperation, clean energy, resilient supply chains and investment security. Key pledges include collaboration on AI, semiconductors and green technologies to drive future growth.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen arrived in New Delhi to strengthen EU-India ties, enhance trade, technology and climate cooperation, and advance the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC, for global connectivity. She met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and both leaders agreed to push for the conclusion of a free trade pact this year. Von der Leyen's visit, accompanied by EU leaders, comes amid rising geopolitical tensions, with Brussels and New Delhi set to outline key areas for closer cooperation as part of their strategic partnership. She emphasized that challenging times present opportunities for stronger EU-India collaboration.
We both stand to lose from a world of spheres of influence and isolationism, and we both stand to gain from a world of cooperation and working together. Because we can offer each other distinctive alternatives and tools to make ourselves stronger, more secure, and more sovereign in today's world.
हमने अपनी टीम्स को एक पारस्परिक लाभकारी बायलैटरल फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को, एफटीए को, इस वर्ष के अंत तक संपन्न करने का निर्देश दिया है.
According to the European Commission, the EU was India's largest trading partner in 2023, with goods trade worth €124 billion, accounting for 12.2% of India's total trade, ahead of the USA and China. India ranked 9th among the EU's trading partners, making up 2.2% of its total trade. Trade in goods grew by 90% over the last decade, while services trade reached €59.7 billion in 2023. The EU's investment in India stood at €108.3 billion in 2022, with 6,000 European companies operating in the country.
The potential is immense. Europe is already India's biggest trading partner. Last year alone, we exchanged 120 billion worth of goods, and over the past 2 decades, our trade has tripled. All this is proof that our businesses and people want to work together.
In another milestone for India's growing ties with Europe, Her Royal Highness Princess Astrid of Belgium led a high-profile economic mission to India, strengthening Belgium-India relations across key sectors. Accompanied by a diverse delegation, she participated in strategic discussions, business collaborations and official meetings in New Delhi.
Her Royal Highness Princess Astrid of Belgium led a high-profile economic mission to India, strengthening Belgium-India ties in trade, investment and technology. Accompanied by a diverse delegation, she met Indian leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, to explore collaboration in defense, infrastructure, renewable energy, and digital innovation. Key highlights included the inauguration of industrial projects, discussion on women's leadership, and cooperation in space research. The visit reinforced Belgium's role in India's growth and deepened bilateral strategic partnerships.
we are very compatible. So there are a lot of challenges in India for which we have the solutions. For instance, waste management, water management, a lot of innovation. We have the most important research institution on semiconductors in the world. So those are all things that India can help. And the other way around, there's also a lot of it in India that can help the Flemish economy. For instance, you have a lot of workforce, a lot of people who are very high skilled, very strong in digitalization, and some other things. Also students that come to Flanders. So there's a lot of things where the one has the challenges and the other one has the solutions. So we have to exchange those.
We talked about collaboration. I think we need to work together even more. I will put a military attaché at the embassy of Belgium as soon as possible, and we are going to make a cooperation agreement also between Belgium and India and your beautiful country. So it was a really good meeting. Yes, we will have more MOUs, more collaboration, and we will do more Make in India as well, and we have to work together.
The back-to-back high-level visits of European leaders underscore India's growing global influence and commitment to strengthening trade, technology, and strategic partnerships. As India deepens its ties with the EU and Belgium, these collaborations pave the way for mutual economic growth, innovation, and security.
Worldwide, efforts to protect wildlife and biodiversity are growing through policies, protected areas, and awareness campaigns. Celebrated on March 3rd, World Wildlife Day amplifies global action against habitat loss, poaching, and climate change. Let's dive into India's conservation journey.
India is a land of incredible wildlife and biodiversity, with diverse ecosystems ranging from the Himalayas to coastal mangroves. The country is home to iconic species like tigers, elephants, and rhinos, making conservation essential for ecological balance and sustainability. On World Wildlife Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Gir National Park in Gujarat and chaired the 7th meeting of the National Board for Wildlife. The board reviewed key conservation efforts, including the expansion of protected areas and flagship programs like Project Tiger, Project Elephant, and Project Snow Leopard. Discussions also focused on initiatives for dolphin and Asiatic lion conservation, along with establishing the International Big Cats Alliance.
India has done fairly well in terms of conserving tigers. We are the global leaders for tiger conservation, and taking cue from how India has conserved its national animal, tiger, or its national heritage animal, which is the Asian elephant, India has also established or rather hosting the International Big Cats Alliance, which is to essentially work with all the big cat range countries. So I see India has done fairly well.
India stands among the world's most biodiverse nations, covering just 2.4% of Earth's land while hosting 7 to 8% of all known species, including over 45,000 plants and 91,000 animals. Its vast and varied ecosystems, forests, wetlands, grasslands, deserts, and coastal habitats, nurture rich biodiversity and provide invaluable ecological benefits. The country is also home to 4 of the world's 34 major biodiversity hotspots: the Himalayas, the Western Ghats, the Northeast region, and the Nicobar Islands, underscoring its global conservation significance. To safeguard this natural heritage, the Government of India, through the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, has introduced robust policies and initiatives. In the 2025 to 2026 Union Budget, the Environment Ministry received $410 million USD, marking a 9% increase from the previous year. The government allocated $54 million USD for the integrated development of wildlife habitats and $35 million USD for Project Tiger and Project Elephant, reflecting an 18% rise in funding. These investments reaffirm India's commitment to protecting its rich wildlife and ecosystems for future generations. WWF India and similar organizations aid wildlife conservation through habitat protection, anti-poaching, species recovery, community engagement, and policy advocacy to safeguard biodiversity and promote sustainability.
We are working with the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, with enforcement agencies, and directly with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, with the state forest departments, to strengthen protection for wildlife populations and their habitats in our country. We are also working with Traffic International and through our own wildlife trade control program to address this illegal wildlife trade.
Besides government efforts, communities and industries in India have undertaken significant wildlife conservation initiatives. A standout example is Vantara, a cutting-edge rescue and conservation center by the Ambani Group in Gujarat, recently inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Spanning 3,000 acres within the Reliance Jamnagar refinery complex, Vantara serves as a sanctuary for over 2,000 animals across 43 species. Equipped with state-of-the-art veterinary facilities and a dedicated team of 2,100 professionals, it plays a pivotal role in rescue, rehabilitation, and conservation. Beyond safeguarding wildlife, Vantara fosters awareness by educating visitors on the importance of biodiversity preservation.
Our aim is to do capacity building, so all the 150 zoos in India become world class, and we are a world leading facility across all states and across the country. India should be the first in setting standards, and the world will follow us, where our animals are not treated badly, where the world looks at us for animal welfare and wildlife welfare.
India's unwavering commitment to wildlife conservation blends innovation, policy, and community action. By integrating technology, global collaboration, and sustainable practices, the nation continues to set benchmarks, ensuring a thriving, biodiverse future for generations to come.
Kalburgi's Nilur Sharif stood as a beacon of peace, love and unity as devotees from all faiths came together for the 428th Urs of Hazrat Miran Sayyid Shah Ismail Qadri Mehboob Subhani. The occasion beautifully reflected the Sufi legacy of love, brotherhood and unity. The sacred sandal ceremony and the procession symbolized devotion beyond religious boundaries, truly celebrating India's spirit of communal harmony.
Nestled in the serene landscapes of Nilur Sharif in Kalaburagi district, the Dargah of Hazrat Miran Sayyid Shah Ismail Qadri Mehboob Subhani stands as a symbol of peace, love and unity. This sacred shrine attracts devotees from diverse faiths, transcending religious boundaries and fostering brotherhood and inclusivity. Revered by people from all walks of life, the Dargah has long been a center of Sufi traditions, welcoming visitors regardless of background. It remains a place where faith unites hearts, promoting harmony and togetherness.
ये 428वां उर्स मनाया जा रहा है और यहाँ पे जो है भेदभाव का कोई सबब क्या भी नहीं है। पे शुरू से हिंदू मुस्लिम सब इस इकाई सब मिलकर जो है उर्स मनाते हैं।
During the Urs, the Dargah becomes a hub of religious fervor and cultural expression. The rhythmic echoes of qawwalis and Sufi poetry fill the air, evoking a divine presence. Scholars, Sufi saints and devotees gather to share the saint's teachings, reinforcing his message of compassion, humanity and oneness with the divine.
इसको उर्स असगर यानी छोटा उर्स कहा जाता है और उर्स अकबर जो हुजूर हज़रत सैयद शाह इस्माइल क़ादरी आक़ा नीलूर शरीफ अपनी हयात में हुजूर गौस पाक की 11वीं मनाया करते थे, उसी की आज तक वो रिवायत चलते आ रही है और आज भी लोग 11वीं शरीफ को यहाँ पे बड़ी अक़ीदत और एहतराम के साथ मनाते हैं और यहाँ पे बिला मज़हब व मिल्लत हर मज़हब व मिल्लत के लोग यहाँ पे आके फैज़याब होते हैं। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज जितने भी लोग इस उर्स मुबारक में शिरकत कर रहे हैं उन सब की जायज़ दुआएं जो भी हैं मैं अल्लाह ताला से दुआ करता हूँ कि उनको अपनी बारगाह में कबूल व मकबूल फरमाएं।
Beyond religious devotion, the Urs is a cultural and social gathering. Thousands receive free meals, langar, reinforcing service and equality. Families, travelers, and spiritual seekers find solace in the Dargah's serene surroundings, a sanctuary of hope and blessings. As the 428th Urs unfolds, the Dargah of Hazrat Miran Sayyid Shah Ismail Qadri Mehboob Subhani stands as a symbol of faith, love and unity.
Now, let's delve into World in Focus, featuring the latest global developments and events shaping our world.
The DJ turns up the volume dial on his deck as he takes a swig of black coffee from a mug, the young crowd bobbing their heads along to the sound of electronic beats mixing with the whir of a milk-frothing machine. So-called coffee raves, an early morning take on late-night club raves dominated not by alcohol and drugs but by cappuccinos and macchiatos, are cropping up all across Russia after taking global capitals like Amsterdam, London and New York by storm. The appeal for many is the chance to socialize with friends in a party-like atmosphere, without the brutal hangovers that result from traditional drug-dominated nightclub culture. Marina, a music editor, said she likes that she can socialize easily without the pressures of alcohol. The event's co-organizer, Alexander Zeganov, says he wants the parties to feel as fun as big nights out. Although the crowd on skewed younger, people of all ages were in attendance, coffee mugs in hand. Some even brought their young children along. AI-powered dreaming room by Turkish-American artist Rafik Anadol was unveiled at the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. Under the name Living Architecture Gehry, the artist uses artificial intelligence to reinterpret the architectural legacy of Frank Gehry, designer of the Guggenheim Museum, in which the exhibition takes place through generative art. Anadol's installation utilizes an AI model trained over months on a vast array of freely accessible images, sketches and plans. This model is aimed at dynamically translating Gehry's architectural vocabulary into ever-evolving forms, colors and movements. Inside the gallery, nearly 50 projectors present the artwork at a high resolution of 20,000 pixels, showcasing 25 million ethically collected images of nature and Gehry's work, said Anadol. The artist describes this as the first instance of AI dreaming continuously, offering new paintings and forms every day. He envisions a future where architecture transcends traditional materials.
India is at the forefront of women's empowerment, breaking barriers in politics, business and society. With rising female leadership and bold policies driving gender equality, the nation is turning vision into reality. Today we meet the drone didis who set an inspiring example of empowering rural women in India with drone technology for agriculture and innovation.
For many rural women like Rupinder Kaur, earning a simple income was laborious and extremely challenging. Now, the Punjab resident flies agricultural drones several times a week, helping farmers spray pesticides and fertilizers. A year ago, she learned about the Indian government's Drone DD program through her local self-help group. After training, she became a licensed pilot, operating drones weighing 25 to 35 kg. For Kaur, this job is more than work. It's financial independence and freedom.
हम कर रहे हैं, ये काम कर रहे हैं, हमारा इससे समाज में बहुत मान सम्मान बढ़ा है, घर परिवार में भी सम्मान बढ़ा है और हम इससे बड़ी अच्छी अर्निंग भी कर रहे हैं.
Launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2023, the Namo Drone DD scheme empowers rural women with drone technology for agriculture. It enhances precision farming, improves crop management, and creates new livelihoods, fostering self-reliance and a tech-driven transformation in India's villages. On average, female licensed agricultural drone pilots can cover up to 10 acres per day, earning around $52 USD per job.
अर्निंग होती है जो उसमें से हमारा घर अच्छा चलता है और मैं अपने आप को और अपने बच्चों को चंगी शिक्षा और चंगा करियर दे सकती हूँ.
The Namo Drone DD program aims to equip 15,000 selected women's self-help groups across India with industrial-grade drones, empowering them through technology and financial independence.
Women in India are breaking barriers across all fields, taking on roles once dominated by men. A shining example is the all-women crew successfully operating semi-high-speed trains, showcasing skill, leadership and a powerful message of women's empowerment on the fast track to progress.
The Vande Bharat Express, operated entirely by women, departed from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus in Mumbai. From the local pilot to the train manager and onboard staff, this initiative showcases women's empowerment and their growing role in Indian railways.
ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है क्योंकि जो गाड़ी का इनॉग्रल रन साक्षात मोदी जी ने हरी झंडी दिखा के किया हो और ऐसी वो गाड़ी हमें ऐसे दिन पे काम करना मिले तो ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है.
सेंट्रल रेलवे ने जो भी महिला कर्मचारी है उनको हमेशा ही आगे बढ़ाया है और हमारे लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है कि वंदे भारत में हमें काम करने का मौका मिला है और मोस्टली आज जो भी महिला है इसमें वर्क कर रही है सभी महिलाएं ही हैं.
This initiative by Indian Railways on International Women's Day sends a strong message that women are advancing in every field and can handle any responsibility with dedication and hard work. This is not just a proud moment for Indian Railways, but for the entire nation.
Women are now walking shoulders to men as well, and yeah, it's a real privilege to have women, serving a different age group of people and having, freedom of working anywhere and everywhere.
India is witnessing a transformation. Women are pioneers, not just participants, in fields once dominated by men. From piloting drones to operating high-speed trains, they are reshaping the future. Initiatives like Drone DD and all-women train crews reflect India's commitment to gender equality. As women break barriers and lead with confidence, empowerment becomes a reality, not just a vision.
Plastic waste is a global crisis, polluting oceans, harming wildlife and contributing to climate change. But imagine a world where plastic waste isn't a burden but a source of empowerment. Well, that's exactly what EcoCurry, a social enterprise, is doing, transforming discarded plastic into handcrafted treasures while giving women a new lease of life. Today we take you inside this inspiring journey of sustainability and empowerment in India's western city of Pune.
Your favorite snacks, from crispy chips to savory namkeens, come in convenient, easy-to-carry plastic packs, perfect for satisfying cravings on the go. But did you know these plastic packs contribute to towering heaps of non-biodegradable waste, posing a serious threat to our environment? Kudos to pioneers like Pune-based EcoCari, a social enterprise that stands as a beacon of hope for environmental sustainability. Founded in 2020, EcoCari transforms single-use plastic into exquisite handcrafted products, seamlessly blending traditional craftsmanship with eco-conscious innovation. The process begins with collecting discarded plastic, which is meticulously cleaned, cut, and woven into fabric using traditional hand looms. These upcycled textiles are then crafted into bags, wallets, accessories, and lifestyle products, each piece not only reducing waste, but also carrying a unique handmade touch. At the heart of EcoCari's mission is Nandan Bhatt, the visionary founder who set out with a dual purpose: to combat plastic pollution by repurposing waste and to empower artisans with sustainable livelihoods. This vision is beautifully reflected in the organization's name, a fusion of eco, eco-friendly, and kari, from the Hindi word karigar, meaning artisan.
So we started EcoCari in 2020, but before that we were doing this project from the 2015. So the inspiration is that if you see the word eco and kari, so this is a combination of two words, eco and kari. So these are the two basic missions which we are working on. So one is we are trying to conserve the environment by upcycling single-use plastic, and another is we are trying to create the artisans whom we can enable the livelihood. So the two words were eco taken from the eco-friendly and kari taken from the karigar, which is the Hindi word which means artisans.
EcoCari's impact extends beyond sustainability. It empowers women artisans, many of whom are entering the workforce for the first time. Through hands-on training in loom weaving, they gain not only financial independence, but also confidence, purpose, and a strong sense of community. For many, the transition from homemaker to artisan has been truly life-changing.
पहले मैं घर पे थी ना, हाउस वाइफ थी, तो खर्चा घर नहीं चलता था। अच्छा, आदमी के अकेले में कमाता था ना, तो पैसा नहीं पुरता था घर में। तो मैंने सोचा कि किधर तो काम करना पड़ेगा, तो हम भी कमाने लेके ना, तो बच्चे के स्कूल के लिए ही मेरा पैसा आता है काम पे, तो अच्छा लगता है इधर काम करके।
We are working with the women and artisan who are not coming from the weaving background. So if you see, weaving in India is traditionally a family-based job. It's a caste-based technically job where people do learn weaving over the period of time by looking at the parents or the grandparents who are doing it, and it's an on-job kind of a training. So they take good amount of time to learn it.
Looking ahead, EcoCari envisions training more artisans and expanding its product line, proving that sustainability and empowerment can weave a better future. With each repurposed plastic piece, it stitches together economic growth and environmental change, creating ripples of impact that extend far beyond its looms. EcoCari's journey is a powerful reminder that small actions can drive big change. By turning waste into opportunity, it's not just reducing plastic pollution, it's weaving a future of sustainability and empowerment.
EcoCari's journey proves that sustainability and empowerment go hand in hand. By transforming waste into opportunity, it's not just reducing plastic pollution, but also weaving a brighter, more inclusive future. And with that, we wrap up today's episode of My India. We will see you next week at the same time. Till then, goodbye and take care. News.